Alright, so I couldn't be happier with this. I think in the end it's going to be worth it. Didn't have to go to the store, didn't have to spend a penny, except for the electricity to run the welder. Now, the next big thing is, I guess I could paint this white, where you see the raw particle board. I could paint this white, I guess. I have some in stock, and so I have to figure out how to mount it. But if we come down here and look up a little bit, you'll see that I have some threads already here, and there's 2 more in the back. That's going to be really easy. I'm thinking all I have to do is figure out what size thread this is, 2 of them, and have a piece of metal or wood coming out, overhanging just a little bit. This will just sit on top of that, because this is just a tick smaller, shorter than this, so I could put a spacer underneath there and bring it up flush. And we're going to come out with this thing 40 some odd inches, right? No, I take that back. It's going to be about 30 inches, because my new rip capacity is going to be 40 inches. But I think either I could have a leg going to the ground, or I could do some sort of a sideways, like an angle brace to hold it up. I haven't decided yet. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is figure out what threads I need, the size thread it is, and bolt that in there and take it one step at a time. But man, this is so cool. Okay, so after going through all my stuff, all my machine screws, digging through a bunch of these, they're not really all mixed mash, but they're just so many different kinds, with threads and sizes and everything. I found these that fit pretty good, so that's one trip saved from going to the store. That's the goal, not to have to go to the store, and not to waste gas, and not to spend any money. Okay, so anyways, I'll put this back, and I figured out that probably the easiest thing for me to do to mount this thing is to, see I got the table upside down here on the top, so probably the best thing for me to do is I'll find a bracket that I could stick inside here, and it's gonna have a lip on it, hopefully with some holes. It could be wood, it could be metal. I'll turn this upside down also, and then I'll be able to line it up much better. Okay, so I found a couple little pieces of metal left over from the welding cart. Left over from one of these brackets here that I cut off. I think it's up here. So that's cool. I actually ran across them today, so I knew right where they were at. I'll drill the holes out, and it'll extend over just a little bit. Just enough so I can get bite and add a couple screws into the top. So over here, I'm going to paint this real quick. I just used some degreaser. And instead of using lacquer thinner or anything harsh chemicals, I just use degreaser for this. And I'm going to go see if I can find some metal primer. I think I have some. And I should probably put Kills in here. But I think I'll just use a metal primer. See what I have, I guess. Let's go find out what I got here. Pretty sure I have something. Okay, here's the white. Let's see what color is this? Auto gloss white. And I think I have some metal primer somewhere in here. What color is this? Rust-Oleum? I don't know what that is. Paint and primer. Gloss white. Wood, metal, plastics, and more. Well, bonds to plastic. I don't think I really want to use that. Here we go. Clean metal primer. Alright, so hopefully none of these are clogged up. Alright. So metal primer. Let's shake this can out. Let's see if it works. Cool. Yeah, cool. So I'll let this dry for a few minutes. I wonder if I could use it on wood. It doesn't say anything about wood. Well, I'm putting some anyways. Just a little bit. And I'll let that dry. Best thing to do is run it upside down to clear the cap. Just to help to prevent it so it won't clog up this little cap here. Hopefully that worked. It doesn't seem like it worked, but at least I tried. E for effort. So this is gonna dry. I'm going to set up. I'll drill these holes out, a little offset, so I'll split the difference and take it from there. All right, so I got the punch. I laid out the first one in the back. All right, so this one will go here. Okay, I got one on, which could have been a little better. I'll make this one a little straighter. But I was reading the can on the primer. It says apply a top coat or a second coat within an hour. Dries within 15 minutes or 30 minutes to the touch. So I think I'm good. So what I want to do is I'm going to sand this a little bit here. Alright, a little bit of sand in here. Okay, decided not to use primer. I'm just going to spray it now with gloss white. Hopefully there's barely any in here. Hopefully it's enough to do it. Hopefully it works. Let's find out. Oh man. The can has malfunctioned. This is trash now. This I had to save. Now, good thing I ran across the other can. Where'd that thing go? Primer. What did it say? Primer and paint in one. Okay, so I found it. And again, there's barely any in here. So hopefully this can works. Let's make sure I got over here. We'll start laying out this other one here. Okay, so I have this on here now. I used some shims and I was able to screw it through here with a couple screws or whatever. I screwed it with screws. What do you think about that? But anyways, so now what I need to do is figure out how to secure it so when I flip it over, it won't fall. So I cut me some pieces of poplar, and I'm thinking about fastening it like this. Of course, it's upside down, but if I do one here, and if I put one back there like that, so that's pretty much what I'm going to do, just like this. Cool. So check it out here. I have the wood here. This wood right here is secured to this with a screw. You know, I should probably add a couple more screws, but comes down here and it's fastened right here with just one screw. Have a little space here. I have a leg here that I salvaged from a job a while back, but what I was thinking, this is going to be a lot of weight right here to be able to stand by itself without this thing tipping over, especially if I throw up some sheets of wood. So that's where this leg comes in. So I'm going to flip it over. I think it's going to be good, but I'm not exactly sure until, you know, of course I flip it over. So let's check it out. Alright, let's take a look here. It's hard to see if the fence works. That's the most important thing. Sweet. It does work. So I'm going to do some fine tuning, get this thing up a little bit so that this is perfectly flat. It seems like right now this is going downhill a little bit on this end. So I'll do what I have to do underneath here, lift this up just a little bit, and I'll see you in 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to cut this piece of plywood down. Just going to take off a 1/2 inch off this. So with that 30 and a half, go ahead and cut it down to 30. So you can see that I really need an outfeed table. There's nothing for the wood to hang on to. What I plan on doing is I don't know exactly what, an outfeed table of some sort, but it's not going to be connected. It's going to be probably more or less an outfeed table / workbench, something that I could work on, I could beat up, I could hammer on and stuff. Don't know if I'm going to make it the same height or not, or drop it down. Another thing that I'm interested in doing, I don't know if I can do it, but I want to do either something over here, whether it's a sliding table or something different, okay? Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is build an outfeed table, like I said, and over here I might do a little something with some sort of a sliding wing or something. But all this could get modified. I may get rid of this leg, might get rid of this brace. It's also across my mind to build a whole rolling base stand thing, like a lot of people have done. But I don't know if I want to get too locked in with something like this. This is just temporary. So nonetheless, to go from a 12-inch roof capacity all the way to 40 plus, that's a great thing for me actually. I like this saw a lot. It really kicks butt. It's 3.5 inch. It'll rip a 4x4 in the first pass. It's powerful enough, and the blade lifts 3.5 inches, so that's perfect. Okay, so check it out. With ease, it goes back and forth. But the transition's pretty nice. This one's harder to guide on. So it's not a big deal. This one's pretty accurate right here, has a gauge. This one doesn't. I was thinking about possibly putting something here. But for what it is, I'm really happy. I couldn't be, couldn't be any happier. You know, just building stuff out of scrap. You know, luckily I had a welder, and luckily I have some extra pieces of stuff here laying around. Didn't have to go to the store for a single thing. Okay, so still only being $25. I'm so far into this whole thing. Got this table saw years ago for 25 bucks. It's probably 15 years old, I'm not really sure. This cost me $0. Next is going to be the outfeed table. Also maybe like a little sliding table of some sort. My wheels are turning up here in my head here. So anyways, see you next time.